Hi guys, Nero here, and welcome to our very first video review for God Was A Geek. Today we're going to be reviewing EA Sports Madden NFL 16. EA's yearly gridiron or American football video game, Madden NFL, is a very realistic look at the popular American sport. However, while being the dominant gridiron game for over 2 decades, the Madden video game series' only real target audience outside of the US is a small group of die-hard fans. While being a great game to watch and play, Gridiron's rules and play structures can be confusing to those who aren't familiar with the sport, which means Madden NFL is not generally the type of video game you can just pick up and play. Both offense and defense come with multiple line setups and structures, as well as multiple predetermined plays. With offense, you also have the option of running or throwing the ball, each one having even more play options attached to it. All of this can become very confusing very quickly. For those willing to put in the time, Madden NFL does offer quite an extensive tutorial and training mode. Here you can learn everything from the basics of passing and tackling to the most difficult of play runs. I myself am a fan of the NFL, but I only tend to buy the Madden games, or any other sports games for that matter, every few years, as generally not enough changes from one year to the next to justify buying a full price game again. So after being reasonably disappointed with EA's 25th anniversary edition in Madden NFL 25, I decided to skip NFL 15 and I waited for NFL 16 to come out before diving in again, and I'm glad I did. Once you get past the massive amount of play call decisions, Madden NFL 16 looks amazing and plays very smoothly. The game, however, is by no means easy. Make a bad play call and you'll be picked off by the opposition, so it's worth taking a look at the tutorial even for those who have played before. The sounds are perfect for the game as well. Each stadium is filled with realistic sounding crowd that reacts to the action on the field. If you pull off a 50-yard run, the crowd's excitement will grow with each step that the player takes. As great as the crowd sounds are, they don't overshadow the other sounds in the game, such as the quarterback calling the plays, or the thump as the punter kicks the ball towards the opposition's receiver. Even the commentators sound good, which is a rare thing in sports games. The only time I found the commentary annoying was when my quarterback got injured. He came back on, but every time he lined up for a play, the commentators mentioned that he had left the field injured but seemed to have recovered.
Pretty little altar boy, daddy's little pride and joy.
As I mentioned earlier, the graphics are quite good. Each player has had their face and characteristics painstakingly redesigned into the game, as well as lifelike stadium reconstruction. Occasionally the players will trip over each other awkwardly, or a random white strip will appear out of the back of the player's helmet, but other than that, the graphics are pretty polished. The gameplay handles well. After only a few quick tutorials, I was Drew Brees of the New Orleans Saints throwing bullet passes to my receiver in the end zone. The rules of gridiron are probably where most will falter in this game. There are a few different options to choose from in terms of your gameplay as well. Firstly, you can just jump straight into a game if that's what you want to do. There's also a career mode. This is similar to a season mode in other sports. In this mode you can choose to play as a player or take a more managerial role as a coach or an owner of your chosen team. There's a fantasy mode where you can pick your dream team from current and past stars, or a draft selection where you can try to pick your team's next big star. However, both of these modes would be largely overlooked by anyone who is not a diehard NFL fan. There is a creation mode where you can create your own player. However, I couldn't figure out how to use them. I set them as my first string quarterback, but whenever I started a game, it used the default quarterback, so I lost interest pretty quickly. This aside, I actually enjoyed a lot of the gameplay with Madden NFL 16. It plays well and it looks great. So, on to my score for Madden NFL 16. Audio, 7 out of 10. The game sounds great, except for the occasionally annoying menu music, which you seem to find in all EA games, and the sometimes repetitive commentary. Visual, 8 out of 10. The game looks beautiful. The only real flaw is the sometimes awkward player movements, which are more funny than anything else. Gameplay, 8 out of 10. The gameplay is smooth, but it does take a little getting used to the rules and the plays. Characters, 7 out of 10. The players are all well designed with their own looks and characteristics to mimic their real life counterpart. Replayability, 8 out of 10. If you're a fan, then there's plenty to bring you back here, especially when you get stuck into a season mode and you chase that elusive Super Bowl victory. Enjoyment, 9 out of 10. Once you learn the plays, it's quite a fun game. Controls, 7 out of 10. Each play and action being assigned to a different button can sometimes be confusing, especially when you're trying to do one play and you accidentally press the wrong button and you end up doing another. Originality, 5 out of 10. Let's be honest, there's nothing really new here. Madden have been making NFL games for over 2 decades now. Extras, 7 out of 10. There are a few different modes to choose from, and a constantly updating roster is enough to keep you coming back. Story, 7 out of 10. In most sports games, your season is your story mode, and it's up to you to write it. The season mode for this game was pretty good. Total, 73 out of 100. Ultimately, NFL 16 is a pretty good game. It's definitely worth having a shot at if you're a fan of the sport. Anyway guys, that's it for me, Nero here at God Was A Geek. Hope you enjoyed our review. See you next time.